Move up a little bit. All right. So here we are, Mindset Matters, episode 2. I'm here with the lovely Jackie and Ruth from The Balance Approach. Want to say hi, ladies, to all the people watching?
Hi, everyone.
Right.
Good morning.
So let's get straight into this. So you guys, we did a Facebook poll, and you said you wanted the interview in several parts. So we're coming at you with 3 parts. So the first part, we're going to take some time to get to know these lovely ladies and the Balance Approach. The second part, we're going to be looking at some of these serious problems that are going on in the workforce in Lancashire and across the world, I guess. And then the third part, we're going to look at how we're going to solve it.
Yeah.
Sound good?
And we can.
All right, absolutely. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, I'll come across to yourself, and then obviously Ruth, you feel free to chip in. Tell us a little bit about the Balance Approach, kind of where it's come from, and what you guys are all about.
Okay. So I'm a qualified holistic therapist, and Ruth is a life coach and a fitness coach, and we both come from different backgrounds, basically. And but we met. Oh gosh, 8 months ago, 9 months ago.
Only 8 months ago?
Yeah. No, I feel like I've been here all my life. We've spent a lot of time together since then. And I was doing a talk on holistic therapies and natural things that you can do with different ailments with Julie Lightfoot, whose birthday it was yesterday. Happy birthday, Julie. Met Ruth there, and we just got on really well, didn't we?
Yeah, hit it off straight away.
Yeah, straight away, and we got talking and got very enthusiastic about the way we wanted to see things. And we just kept saying, you know, it's all about the balance, isn't it? Because we both like to have fun, we both like to eat cake, you know.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah. So we're not all about, you know, just sticking to a strict diet and not having any fun, because that didn't work for us. So we've got different paths, and we kept saying it's all about the balance. And that's where it evolved from there 8 months ago. And wow. We said, well, actually, both qualities that we have, our specialities, work really well together. Because Ruth is more on the fitness. I believe in fitness, but Ruth likes the thought of triathlons and things like that. That doesn't appeal to me at all. But I'm full of awe of anyone that can do it. But you know, so what I do and what Ruth does appeals to different people. So together, and with a collaboration of people like yourself, Michael, and lots of different people, we intend to go out there to the workforce. We've both walked the walk, basically. We've walked in big corporations. I'm currently a housing officer, just part-time. And we can see how things could change, you know, how communication's a massive one, and people need so many different things. A lot of anxiety going on out there. So together we thought, well, yeah, we want to work in big corporations and get it out there, feed all this information out there. We want to go out to charities. So many people you know, are suffering from problems, but it's also the carers as well, so we need to look out for them. So we want to work with the charities. We also want to educate. And that goes without saying, but when I say educate, we want to go out to schools. It's got to start really from birth. I was taught from birth because I grew up on a farm. So, you know, naturally, we were taught to eat organically and to get out in the fresh air. These are simple things, but we kind of lost the way somewhere along the way. So that's what we talk about, isn't it?
Wow. So you've got my vote. there's a lot. Seriously, that's amazing. There's a lot there. So picking up some of the things you said, because I'm going to ask yourself, Ruth, to chip in on this. So, you know, synergy, working together, communication, that belief in that kind of like abundant, like there's more, we can get access to this health and well-being. It's not just some limited thing for just a few people super fit people.
It's for everybody.
Absolutely. So would you say, Ruth, as much as Jackie was saying it's about physically doing things, is it also like a way of looking at things, a way of approaching life?
Absolutely. It's not just about the sort of the changes of like making sort of diet or exercise, it's a mindset to it as well, which as a coach, that's what we can look at. So it's sort of like finding out why people are making the changes, what your reasons for doing it, and being kind of keeping motivation for doing it. It's alright sort of us going in there, people saying, oh, like I said, do more exercise, drink more water, but if people haven't got motivation to do it, people won't stick to it. They've got to think about why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want to be healthier, they're doing it because they want to feel better, they're doing it because they want to live longer, they've got a family history of health problems. Making these small changes does actually help with that as well. And they say having the right motivation, knowing the reason why, to help you make the changes. It's also the mindset as well, keeping positive. It's also about people kind of focus on the negative things that are going on in their lives. They're not actually concentrating on the positive stuff. So when you concentrate on the negative, I think you just get yourself in a downward spiral that you can't be bothered, that you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to eat healthy. But as long as you keep yourself positive, you keep yourself a positive mindset, you're more likely to want to make the changes and look after yourself as well.
Brilliant.
So
it sounds like, picking up on something you've both said, and something that I think is rampant at the moment, is this issue of sustainability.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
these quick fads, you go do this thing,
Yeah.
you know, for a certain amount of time. Well, like you say, motivation's great, and then when it runs out, you know, what do you do? So it sounds like you're more advocating, would you say, like a way of life that you could do for a long period of time?
Well, it's all about making small changes. It's small steps. So like small changes make a big difference. So it's just like I say, then you're changing your habits, you're changing your routine, you're changing your lifestyle, and then it does become a way of life. So it's just sort of say it is all about keeping it sort of, let's say, sustainable and long term.
Absolutely. So picking up on what you said, Jackie, you're talking about you want to work with, obviously you're working with companies, but you also work in the schools. And we were talking off camera, weren't we, about altruism and just helping people, just keeping it simple. Just it's for everybody, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said.
And I think, you know, the most vulnerable in society, you know, working as a housing officer, you know, I do work with a lot of vulnerable people. Those are the people that need the help. And especially with the negativity, you're getting a cycle of negativity. And actually, those are the people who probably can't afford it. And so we want to get out to everybody, don't we?
Definitely.
We need to survive ourselves as well, obviously. But if we can, you know, start feeding that out with everybody, collaborating with everybody, and everyone that takes accountability for their health, and that's a big thing for me, is that, you know, we all need to take accountability for our health, whatever that means to you. Healthy means different things for Ruth, for me, for you.
Because people can miss that, can't they? They can think, well, if I do these things you're telling me to do, then you're in control of it, and like I'm just following you. And like I say, if they realise that accountability, no, it's on me.
Absolutely.
You've actually got more opportunities because you're creating them yourself rather than waiting for someone to do it.
And that's it. People they take accountability. They feel empowered because they're in control of it. Then, so rather than feeling like you're the victim of somebody telling you what to do, you have to feel like, I'm in control of this. I'm in control of making these changes, and that's when you're more likely to do it because you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the right reasons. And
that, like I say, that's sustainable. That can last for a
a
lifetime.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So that's the approach to things, the balanced approach, obviously. But I want to know, obviously, a bit about dynamic, because there's two of you. And obviously, you know, you're a dynamic duo. So I've come to yourself, Bruce. So you're a life coach, you're a fitness trainer, and you know, what dynamic would you say you bring to the balanced approach?
My dynamic is I'm quite as a fitness coach. My sort of background is also working for the NHS. So my background, sort of my kind of approach is more clinical than Jackie's. So I'm looking sort of like
data, numbers.
Sort of very a very kind of, I suppose, a bit more modern than Jackie's approach. Yours is the holistic, traditional approach. So it's like about healthy diet, what a balanced diet is, looking at the eat well plate, being more active, and sort of as a coach, it's the motivation as well, supporting and motivating, changing people's sort of habits really. So that's kind of my approach, is more, I said, a bit more clinical. So it's like, these are the facts, this is what you can do, this is why you need to do it. And as a scientist myself, I like sort of knowing why you do things, why you need to eat certain type of foods, why you need to exercise, what the benefits of it are. So sort of that's kind of a bit more. Brilliant.
So it's like kind of quantitative data, clinical trial, but also understanding why. And then yourself, Jackie, are you completely opposite, or?
Well, no, not completely opposite, but I lived in India and various other countries, and it did change my life because they practice Ayurvedic medicine, and Ayurvedic medicine was the first medicine that ever was.
Can you tell us a bit about it? Because obviously some people watch this, they want.
Well, no,
how do you say it?
Ayurvedic.
Ayurvedic. So what actually is that?
It's the science of medicine, roughly translated. And holistic Ayurvedic, it is very, very similar. So what they look at is the whole of you. So they look at your mind, your environment, and they look at using natural things. What was given to us, you know. So we can sort of use things in our daily life which are in your kitchen, and if they're not, you need to get rid of them. But they don't cost anything to keep healthy, you know. So we have got we've done a full circle, haven't we, where now people say, oh, I've got a headache, I'll take a tablet. I've got stomachache, I'll take a tablet. And it's become so easy, but that's how we're educated. That's what we're being told to do. So people don't now think about actually the first medicine. You know, before Hippocrates, or Hippocrates used lots of natural things, of course. But you know, in India they're still practicing that. They have very different religions. This is not about religion, but the reason why the religions developed like that is because of what was given them as an environment. So the belief system is very much based around that. So it's the whole of your life we're looking at. Ayurvedic medicine isn't just about curing, because modern medicine is about curing, where Ayurvedic medicine is preventing. And that's where my speciality is. I want to prevent all these illnesses, which I really strongly believe we can. You know, you may have heard of acidic diet as opposed to alkaline diet. Whatever we eat in the Western world is giving us an acidic diet, which is very bad, which allows disease to grow inside us. With an alkaline diet, that's not possible. And it's that simple. It really is that simple. You know, it's not. You know, we don't use fancy words. Ayurvedic, I suppose, quite fancy. You
don't know what it is.
These medicines that we use that I can't pronounce, and we're relying on doctors to tell us, well, you should take this, you should take that. Well, actually, you should use coconut oil, you should use lemons. It's that simple. Very, very simple methods. Prevention. You know, I strongly believe NHS doesn't need more money, as this is the government should give more money, because NHS is failing. It is failing, but we need to change things. We need to take accountability. We need to start doing things at home, and before we get to that stage of wanting a doctor, wanting to go into a hospital, that resolves the problem.
That's where the synergy between us is. Jackie's approach is looking at for the holistic approach, where mine is more as a health trainer working for NHS. That was my role. I'm based in GP surgeries. People go and see the GP with diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, instead of the GP put them on medication, they refer them to us, and we'd work with them to make lifestyle changes. Basic lifestyle changes, being a bit more active, eating a bit more fruit, drinking more water, reducing the fat intake. So we were sort of trying to get people on medication, and again, that is what it's all about. It's sort of prevention rather than cure. It's looking at the causes rather than the symptoms.
Because I think some people think you can either have one or the other. You can either be clinical and you do these things and listen to science, or you can kind of be the other end.
Definitely.
Both work really well together.
And I believe that, although I am very holistic and I don't like to take medicines, but actually I am very, very well aware we do need both. There's certain illnesses that, gosh, we need the NHS. We're so lucky in this country. We do have an NHS, and we don't realise just how lucky we are in this country that we have that, and we need it.
So I think, picking up what you're saying, having those two approaches, so even just having the open-mindedness to sit there and say, I can have both, or I can be both, or it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can kind of create a solution and a start. For a lot of people watching this, you think, like, where do I start? Do I need to do this? Well, maybe just start by saying, you could do both of these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
They work well together.
It's not like it's going to take up lots of your time. It isn't. It literally is very, very simple methods. It will just become natural to you. And you will go off through a little bit. You will have Christmas, and you'll drink too much, and you'll
holidays
and holidays.
And that's part of it.
And that's part of it. And that's very good for you.
Yeah,
it's good to get that high and just go, you know.
And it makes it more sustainable. If you thought that you're never going to have another glass of wine or never have another packet of crisps, well, what's the point? You know that you can. And there's no such thing as junk food. It's just like a junk food diet. So if you're just you're treating yourself or you're having it as every so often, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And don't beat yourself up.
Exactly.
Just get on
track.
Exactly. Just get back on track.
Brilliant.
If you guys enjoyed this video and want to find out more, I'm here on cataholos.co.uk. So click on the link below, and you can see here's our values, and you can either subscribe to our newsletter and become one of our subscribers, or you can click on the 10-week course to go to learn more. Here it is, gives you all the information you need.